Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I want to show you guys how to draw this fidget spinner. It's print in place, except for over here, this particular key ring I have over here. You may need some support. I'm going to draw it a different way this time around. But I'm actually going to use variables to do this. The variables are nice because, say, your 3D printer, the tolerance doesn't work. You can just come in here, adjust your variable, and then try and print it again until you get it to work for your tolerances for your printer. All right, so let us begin. I'm going to just start a new part studio. First thing we want to do is set our variables. Our variables will be the first thing up here. So if you want to ever call them in our sketch or something like that, you need your variables already defined. So up top here is variable. I'll call the first one thickness, and that'll be the thickness that I'm setting for each one of these rings. And I have that thickness set as 1/8. And then the next variable will be the gapping in between. And again, this is the one I was talking about where your tolerance of your printer you may want to adjust it. For this, I'm going to make it 0.02, fat fingered that one, as our gap. All right, and that gap in between is allowing for the print, right here. So now we can start our sketch. Do it on the front plane, and to normalize view to P to turn off our planes. And now I'm just going to keep drawing some circles from the origin. The first one will be full 1.5 diameter. And now from here, I'm actually going to start using our variables. So how do we call our variables? How do we use our variables? Things like that. It's all going to be an offset for this drawing. So I'll click on offset, this guy, going the wrong way. But I want it to be now, this is where I can call my variables, the thickness. So if I do hashtag, $, pound, whatever you want to call it. What's the real name for it? I don't remember. But I now want this to be the thickness of the ring. So if I hit enter, there is our variable. If you mouse over, you'll see that it's using our variable thickness. If I go and change the value over here, it'll change the value over here. But I'm going to keep doing this alternating in between the thickness variable and the gap variable until you see it'll be too small, or it'll get too small. Let's do that again. Where's my offset? There it is. I can just keep doing this until we get to a value that's a little bit too small, or a ring will be too small. And you'll see what that looks like in a second when I get to it. That's 3 rings. Let's do one more. And I'm going to stop here. You'll see why in a second. Zooming in a touch, there's our full variable. Now, if I draw a construction line, I'm going to go through the origin here. The length of it is going to be, where's my numbers? 0.5, enter. And if I hit that with a midpoint on the origin, it centers that. And you'll see that this guy here is now smaller than the thickness. So I'm stopping here at 1, 2, 3, 4 rings. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Make sure you got that horizontal constraint. I'm not going to set a value. Horizontal, and then let's get our trim on. And you'll see we've started to fully define. I went all the way around there, right? This guy here is small. We'll fix that in a second. I'm going to trim these rings in here as well, so they're not part of our revolve. That's a closed shape. You can just go in and click them separately, but now I'm going to draw a vertical line, and I'll set the dimension from my construction line here. Let's just set this as 1/8. Let's be consistent with what we're doing here. And now I'll trim a bit more and get rid of that in there. And you'll see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections that I'm going to revolve to actually do this as a revolve around that point. So green check mark, revolve. What I'm going to revolve, since I trimmed everything out and all I have are the closed shapes, I can just click on sketch 1 over here. Then it's asking for my revolve axis. I choose that and look at that shift 7 ISO view. And now I have separate parts, separate rings that I can print on the printer as print in place, as in I don't have to do anything. And if you have a dual extruder, you can set the rings to different colors. I don't happen to right now, so I'm just going to print it as 1. But the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little key ring to the side. I'm going to do a sketch down here. Let's look at our view here, and I'm going to do a corner rectangle. I can click up here, drag it up. I'm going to make it 0.5 by 0.5. We're undefined. If I do a coincident on that point and our edge in here, the inner edge here, because I'm going to extrude up through, that'd be fine. And then I'm going to do a circle on this point. We'll make it 0.25, and we'll set our distance from here to here as 0.25 as well. Will that work? Yes, it will. Hit that check mark. Let's extrude this now. Just that shape. Flip it around. Let's go up 0.25. Lovely keychain so far. Let's just now fillet the outside. So I'm going to fillet. I'm actually going to do this as a full round. First face is there. Second face is there. Face around is there. And it curved that whole thing. Beautiful. Look at that. You're pretty much done, and you probably could print it, but for the sake of making this work real well, you should fillet these edges right there. Just to help the print. And I had that, what was that? 0.1? 0.1. All right. Simple fidget spinning keychain for you to print in place. And we're using variables. Good luck, have fun.